Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks. Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk, and we got an awesome guest for tonight. So, everybody, make sure to get your questions in there, and we'll get them asked for sure.
Heck yeah, we will.
And I'm wearing my cool Mind Lab shirt today. People can see that. It's kind of bright.
Yeah.
It's a fat guy in a little shirt. So, the reason I'm wearing it, I'll just do this now, Jeff. Mind Lab this Thursday starting their 35th anniversary sale. So we've got some specials. They're so hot, so good, they won't let me talk about them till Thursday. So if I can't do it on the air. Let's just say that I can't advertise it. But somebody wants to call me tomorrow, I'll tell them about it. But I just can't do it publicly on air. That was my Mind Lab commercial. And now let me do a little Naka commercial. See this guy right here? If you guys wanted a backup detector or another detector and you didn't want a Mind Lab product, you could get a Naka product like a score or double score, and you would get in the box a free AccuPoint pinpointer.
That's really good because I tell you what, I think I'd take a Nocta over a Mind Lab any day. But that's just me.
That's you, Jeff. But a lot of people love Mind Lab products, and it's awesome. And Jocelyn just told me, Kathy Crowd said she likes my shirt. Everybody likes my shirt.
Sure, they do. Why not?
It's the fat guy in the little shirt, for sure. So anyway, that was my Naka or my Mind Lab commercial, and that was my Naka commercial. So,
what else is the deal with Nocta now?
Oh, you're with it, Jeff. I tell you something, you remember. You're like an elephant. If you buy,
I look like one.
If you buy the Naka Legend and you buy the standard Legend with no headphones, they throw that in the box. That is the 5-inch coil, and you coin hunters and relic hunters know it's a whole lot easier with a smaller coil. Everybody's talking about my shirt. I always have to wear a fancy shirt. And anyway, if you buy a Legend standard or a Legend with the wireless headphones, they throw this in the box. And of course, if you get the Legend Pro Pack, it has that in there too. But I think I still have maybe 3 of the Legend Pro Packs back there with the AccuPoint pinpointer. That special is over. So if you wanted that Legend, you could get it with the AccuPoint also. So
you can't beat that.
I mean, that's beat it with the stick for sure. So I guess that's enough rambling for me on advertising here at the shop. So,
well, let's do our housekeeping.
Yeah, our housekeeping for sure. As always, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, the thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member, and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, or Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin.
Yes.
So, and of course, the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting in all forms, and educate our members in a fun, informative manner.
And we will do that. We endeavor to do that
every day, for sure.
And now, as many of you were watching last Thursday night, you know that some of the guests were sick and some got called away. But this is for those of you, Captain Fizz, he called me Thursday afternoon and said he was just too ill to come and to be on the show, and he apologized profusely, and I think he's got some serious health problems. So if any of you out there would like to send a card, some kind of goodwill wish to Captain Fizz. If you just email me, I will send you his address for a card. And the email is treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. And so let's all just take a minute here, close our eyes, and send good prayers and wishes to Captain Fizz to get better really quickly. So let's just take a moment here. Okay, thank you everybody for letting me do that. I appreciate it. And now we'll be getting on with the show. So what else is going on?
Oh, I have one other thing that I forgot to mention, Jeff. And
Okay.
that was some folks had asked me if I had Fred's other book, the Northern Plain Indian Wars. And I
Mhm.
get some of those in-house, and I'll probably put all three of his books in a bundle on my website and also on eBay, and the same for Terry's books. I think he's got 6 of them now, doesn't he?
Yes, and he's got the first one, Hunting the Treasure Coast, is coming out in color. And I told him this past weekend just to send you a dozen as soon as they
Yeah,
come out.
that's cool. That's perfect. So we'll put those on the website in a bundle, because a lot of people like to buy all 6 of them at the same time. I was doing that on eBay, so I better do that on my website too. So that's a oh, and also with Fred's book, you get this page here. I don't know if you can read that.
Oh yeah, that's a cool book. I tell you what,
You get this
Terry and
single
Fred
page.
were okay. We
Yes.
had a really good time, and we went to and show you what kind of a class act they are. They put on a shrimp boil for us at Fred Banky's house
Oh, nice.
Friday night. And so we went over there. All the people were staying in the house. We went over there. We had a fantastic time at Fred's house for the shrimp boil. And just so happens we got to stand out on Fred's patio and watch the Space Link or the Starlink launch.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
So
really
that was pretty cool. That was very cool.
Yeah,
Very,
well,
very cool.
that's awesome. Well, Fred had sent me a PDF of those shipwreck locations, and it's got all the stuff for if you're going to Sebastian area. Oh, I got it upside down. It's got all the shipwrecks on it, and it's got all the locations. So that's a good thing to have with the book too. So we include
Yes,
that.
indeed, it is. Yes, indeed. Now, next week, of course, we got Chicago Ron, but then the week after, we're going to have Terry and Fred and their good friend that edits the books. And that show is going to be all about how to write a book,
Oh, awesome.
how they go about it, everything that's involved. So all 3 of those people will be with us, and we're going to learn how to write a book in case some of y'all out there choose to write a book and get it published. So it's going to be a very good, informative show.
Yes.
So we better quit blathering,
Yes,
hadn't
we better get at it. Otherwise,
Yes,
Butch might
indeed.
fall asleep.
we? I might fall asleep. You never know. You never can tell.
I always see pictures of Butch taking a nap on his hunt.
Well, he's laying on the ground when he's out hunting, he takes a few naps, So everybody, you've seen this young man before, and you will assuredly see him again. He is the toast of the town, the toast of the detecting world. He publishes the best magazine on the planet Earth, bar none. There's no competition. If you want to know something about detecting and finds, that's the Bible.
That is. That's like a reference magazine. I guess if you put them in a big book, you'd have a reference book.
That's right. It's the Encyclopedia of Metal Detecting.
Yes, and relics and anything you need to know about relics here in the USA. And I think they do some Europe trips too. So
he's branching out. He certainly is as far as England goes. So let's bring on our good friend, Mr. Butch Holcombe, American Digger Magazine.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Butch.
Hey, nice shirt, Phil. I like that.
Yeah, everybody's commenting on my nice shirt. Jocelyn's over there telling me everybody loves it.
You guys were talking about us branching out. American Digger actually has a group hunt over in England right now as we speak. So I guess I don't know what time of day you'll be there. Probably in the middle of the night, but they're actually over there hunting right now.
Well, what happened to you? You got left behind.
No, I'm going in October. See what these people don't realize. Okay, American Digger is doing 2 trips a year now. This is what we call them the warm-up hunt that they're on. And actually what they're supposed to do, and they're going to be told this at the hunt site, is they're going to have to record the GPS location, take a picture of the relic, bury it because it's strictly dig and release, and then they'll be giving that to my crew in October, and we'll be digging it up and keeping it for ourselves.
So now you live dangerously, Butch.
No, it's they're gonna be finding some great stuff, I know, but it was so popular that we were actually approached by the Buttery Priory. Oh, that's hard to say, over in Suffolk last year about doing an American Digger hunt over there. So we did it, and it was very successful. So we announced it this year in January. And they take, I believe it's 12 or 14 people. The first group sold out within 2 weeks. So we had to add another hunt.
Nice.
So that's why we're doing 2 hunts. And they're over there right now. And I just can't wait to see what they find.
Oh, they're going to find all kinds of good stuff. You did last time when you were there. You left your dad's old shoe.
I did.
Over there. They might find that.
The Shrine of the Moldy Boot.
That's right.
Yes. Soon to be a pub near you. Oh, there's a long story there, but I actually blew my boots up on the last day. They came completely apart, and rather than try to take them back with my luggage, I actually threw them away, and they saw them and they salvaged them and hung them in the barn, and there they are.
Very good. Phil, do you see this? I don't know who it is. It's a Facebook user.
Yeah, it's a Facebook user, Phil. We sent a couple of people to your shop for detectors from the Gold Miners Group. And that, if I'm not mistaken, is Dave from this club here. It's a Gold Miners Club here in Florida. I hope this is the right one.
I don't know.
They had asked me to speak at their club, and unfortunately, my guy who works here on Saturday, sometimes he can't do it, so we got to get that scheduled. Their meetings are on Saturday morning early.
Oh, yeah. But, early leaves you out.
No, I get here by 10:30. Now, come on.
I know what time you get
That's
there.
Early.
That's not early.
That work for you, slave driver.
Yeah, so they have a nice club, and it meets here in Tampa, or just a little east of us. And they do gold prospecting. They go up north of us and do some gold prospecting up in Georgia, and the folks are real nice, and they've come in and bought detectors. I'm sure that's who that was.
And that was, he said, you're correct. And also, let me tell you, while we were at the shrimp boil at Fred Mankey's house, he did something really special and surprised everybody. I knew about it, but they didn't know about it. He had pay dirt there, and he let them pan for gold and keep their gold. Nice. Now, that's what kind of a top-notch fella Fred Mankey is.
Have you ever done that before, Butch?
What's that? Pan for gold?
Yeah, prospect.
Oh gosh, yeah. Actually, I actually lived for a while right on the end of the Georgia gold vein, and I could actually go down a hill in my backyard through the woods, and there was a creek down there that actually was a gold-bearing creek. And it was, I spent a lot of time going down there. Never did find a lot, but always found enough to keep me coming back.
Yes.
People do not realize how hard it is to find gold. I mean, it's there, but it is work.
Yes, it is. And you'll never guess who won the gold challenge at Fred Mankey's house.
Was that you, Jeff?
No, I didn't pan.
Oh.
No. Terry Shed.
Terry won.
He found the most gold.
Yeah, I think he's probably done it before, though.
No, I don't think Terry'd ever done it.
Oh, okay. Well, he's determined. Let's just say
Yes.
for
He's
sure.
only got one finger on one hand, so he could got the moves down.
Yes. So yeah, he probably did it really well.
Yes,
So
he did.
so Butch, are you in clubs up in your area?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the North Georgia Relic Hunters Association Club, I was actually one of the founding members back in, oh my God, 1972 or 73.
Okay.
And, the club is still active. It still meets. It goes through has been through a lot of changes, and I'm not really active anymore. But that's one thing that I really like to promote is clubs, because a lot of people are letting social media take the place of clubs, and it's not the same. It's better if we can all get in the room and look at everybody's finds and just socialize a little bit. Find some new detective buddies. It's not the same online, is my opinion.
No, it's not. It's just I'm active in two clubs, one in St. Pete and one here in Tampa. Tampa more, I'm active in it because the other one now started meeting on Monday nights, so it kind of ruled me out for that one. But I enjoy the clubs. I enjoy seeing what people find, and there's always local experts in your clubs. Like we've got my friend Charlie, and he's like a bottle expert here because he does all the bottle shows. He's dug bottles for years, and you just have different people with different expertise in those clubs. There'll be an Indian artifact expert. It's really cool. Plus, we're in a coin store too, so there's a coin expert right there on hand. So it's just real nice.
That's a great place to meet.
It is, and this is a perfect segue. We've got our club meeting actually tomorrow night here in Tampa. So if you're in the Tampa Bay area, stop in and see us. It's the WSAS.club. That's the West State Archaeological Society.club. I just go online and look that up, but it meets at Coincopia tomorrow night at 7:00.
You ever do club meetings, Butch, as a guest speaker?
Oh yes, actually quite a bit of them. I can't name them all, but I was the FMDAC guest speaker up at Niagara Falls a couple of years ago. I've been the speaker at the not the Garrett Memorial, but the Texas Metal Detecting Council show and hunt, which they have each year. A whole lot of local clubs. I work cheap. I like a meal, but I'll speak even if I'm hungry. So, it's like my book says, I won't shut up.
Well,
if you're not a speaker, be careful. I eat a lot and I talk a lot.
Well, at the WSAS club, there's usually at least a dozen donuts.
Oh, yeah, probably 4 or 5 dozen.
Yeah.
What time do I need to be there by?
At 7:00.
Oh, I can't make it.
Tomorrow night for sure. It's a good.
That's something and people, and this goes for hunts too. I can't be everywhere at once, and there's a lot of hunts and guest appearances I do have to turn down sometimes because, like I say, I can't be everywhere at once. I can't be at a hunt in Missouri and then be at one in Kentucky at the same time.
Right.
So
there's a lot of work doing those. You got to set up a tent and all that kind of stuff.
What's that?
It's a lot of work doing those when you got to set up a booth and a tent and all that kind of stuff.
People do not realize that one of the excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. One of the people I think I've been looking for on chat, but I don't see her yet, but she's listening in at least. Our new marketing director, Debbie Schiffer Blades, has started doing some of the shows with me, and she can attest. I think she got shell shocked on the first show we did, our event, because you get there, you've got at least one van full of stuff. You've got a tent you got to set up. You got all these books, all these magazines. You're fighting the wind. People see it's American Digger, so everybody comes over there and they want to talk to us, and it's quite a job getting everything set up, but it's well worth it. Very rewarding.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it would be.
I've had some good jobs in my life. Well, I've had some jobs in my life, but I can't imagine doing anything other than what I'm doing now. And that's the magazine is what people mainly see. But hey, there's Debbie Schiffer-Blades.
Yeah.
The magazine is what people normally see, but we also American Digger also runs Graybird Publishers or vice versa. And you were talking about books earlier. We also publish books on contract. We publish Bill Dancy's Colonial books, Charlie Harris's books, several other books as well. And
you need to do the Alberts book.
Oh, we want to. We will. Let me tell you, that has been investigated. I am looking into that. What happened, unfortunately, with the Alberts book is one of the people that owned the copyright basically passed on without any paperwork as to what to do with it. So the copyright is in total limbo now. Nobody can reprint the book. Yes. And the same is true of a couple of Mike O'Donnell's books, who did a lot of Civil War relic books. He operated more or less on a handshake and a promise, and now he passed away and no one can reprint the books. So when we do our books, we try to make it where it's pretty clear on the copyrights that it can be reprinted or it can't. And, here's why.
Yeah, that Alberts book is a good reference.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Alberts and also Tice's book is another one, Tice's Button book. Both of those right now, if you can find them, are $200 to $300 books, which I think is ridiculous. But if you want a book on buttons, it's the only thing you can do.
Right.
So
it's gotta.
Yeah, you gotta either have it or don't have it, because those two really are the Bible on buttons.
Yes. And a lot of books will be like that too. Like we have local token books here in Florida, tokens. The same exact thing has happened. You have one person print a book and then it's no longer in print or they're passed away. So you can't get that book unless you spend a premium to get it. So
and that is one thing we do at American Digger. If anybody has a book and owns the copyright or something, if it's out of print, we would always like to look at it and see it may be something that we want to print again.
Yeah.
But I just hate to see a book go out of print and not, it's just gone forever. That just seems such a waste, all that work.
Yeah, all the work.
Be one of those.
Yeah, for sure. So now you published the two books with you and Charlie Harris, right?
Yeah, Charlie Harris, and I've had several people that I've worked with on it. Actually working with Buckle Boy right now, if anybody knows him. William and I are working on a tremendous book of artifacts.
And Buckles, I guess.
Yeah, well, and Buckles too, yes. But something that bleeds over into my work is, okay, American Digger magazine, no matter what you say about it, I don't think you can say it's bad quality. It's great quality.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm saying. We make it to last. Well, our books are the same way. They're hardcover. They're they're pretty. I mean, they're just neat books to have on the shelf.
Yes, they are.
But you live by the adage, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well.
You better believe it.
And a lot more people need to, live with that and buy that, because there's really some shoddy work out there. People, and you see it because you're a publisher, people send in, the articles to you, and you've got to spend hours going over them, correcting spelling. Well, you know what? You got spell check on their computers. Use it, people.
Well, we try to never criticize anybody on that, because not everybody is a writer. Not everybody's a great speller. What we do ask is, for instance, on an article, do the best you can with it, and then send it to us. And if it has merit, we will work. In fact, Debbie Schiffer-Blades, who's on here right now, she's one of our editors, and we will do everything to almost even rewrite a story. It'll still be your story, and we do it with the author's approval. Yeah. But never be ashamed to send in an article to us, because if it's something interesting, we'll make it work.
Yeah, well, I see all the comments here, and everybody says they love the magazine. So.
Right
there.
Hey, thank y'all. Yeah, I love the magazine. My club loves reading, etc. Man, thank y'all.
Yeah, it is. And for people who are new to detecting, they might want to consider getting a subscription because to me, it is a good reference book.
It
And
is.
when you have a lot of those magazines, you've got a huge reference library when you
And
have that.
that's one reason we try to use them. There's one of the recent copies. But we use heavy paper. We try to make it where it'll last. I used to love Western Eastern Treasures, but what I hated was it would fall apart within a couple of weeks. Our magazines, people go and they make it a quest to collect all of the editions, including number one.
Oh yeah.
And here's something exciting that I hadn't mentioned yet, although people who read the magazine know it by now. But we have now gone up to 80 pages, and that's a big magazine. So there shouldn't be the problem of reading it all at one sitting, as one of our readers said one time was his complaint. It's going to be a full-fledged big read now. So with the average of 6 to 8 articles and all kinds of stuff that was just dug and just found.
Well, that's when you know, Butch, that you are the gold standard in the hobby. Is when people are sending you stuff hoping to get in. And you can't put everybody in, no matter how much.
I had the honor to get the magazine. I mean, I've only, other than my column each month or each issue, I've had very few finds of the magazines. I mean, they're just a lot of people wanting to get into it.
Yeah, well, they got a lot of good finds.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good for, just like what Phil said, if you're a newbie, definitely you need to subscribe to American Digger magazine, because you may dig something up and think, oh, this is a piece of junk. And then you look at American Digger magazine and find out that ain't junk.
That's exactly right. And I cringe to think of how many good artifacts have been thrown away by diggers over the years because they assumed it was junk when in reality it was something really great. And once it's thrown away, then good luck on ever finding it up.
I've done that myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have to admit.
It's easy to do. Growing up growing up in North Georgia, where all the Civil War battlefields were, that was my first metal detecting, was hunting Civil War artifacts. I remember finding this thing one time. It was the most weird looking thing I've ever seen. It was a ring with a stick coming off the ring and a couple of washers on it and something that looked like the remains of rotted cork or wood or something in a chain. I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it. And finally, I threw it away. Not out in the woods. I threw it in a dumpster so it'd be good and gone. And the next weekend, I went to a relic shop that was in Kennesaw, Georgia, and saw a canteen, and it was actually the spout from a canteen with a chain that hooked it.
Well, be darned.
That's what I've ever found that was that complete.
Yeah, well, we do have a comment from Moose in New York.
Hey, Moose.
And it says, I have 13 issues under my coffee table. Good reading. And it is indeed.
Well, I put my heart into it. It's not that I brag and say, oh, go buy the magazine. I'm not going to do that. But anybody that looks at the magazine generally loves the magazine. I've had no one, I don't think, that said they don't like it.
Well, if they're into metal detecting, treasure hunting at all, how could they, not like that magazine? It's got something for everybody. If you are a raw beginner and have never been out yet, it's got something in there for you.
It does. Absolutely, it does. And, in this expanded magazine that we're doing now, we added a couple of features, and one of them is kids finds, because there's a lot of kids getting into this hobby.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought, why don't we devote a page just to the kids with the stuff they found within the last few months? And we also have one that's for finds from overseas. So, yeah, we're really getting out there now.
That's right. And Dirty Paws Detecting says you can read them more than once. I keep them all. And he also mentioned that he needs to get you an Alabama shirt.
Oh, go Dogs. Sorry. Roll Tide.
Hey, Butch, I'll show you one of
West
the relics.
Tennessee.
I'll show you a relic that I threw away when I first got started in this hobby. Can you see that?
Is that a canister?
No, it's from a hat plume.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
You would have this piece,
yes,
and you would have the flame,
that's right. Oh
and then,
wow!
and then you'd have the bomb. I guess they called that.
Yeah, the flaming grenade, or
Yes, a hat plume. So I had thrown that out, and the next day I'm hunting with a guy, and he was showing me. I was new. This is probably 30 some years ago, and he showed me. Oh, I got the bomb, and I got the flame. And I looked at it, and I realized I threw the bomb away the day before. So
oh my gosh! Did you go get it?
no, it was thrown away in the trash.
Oh,
It's gone.
that's what I did.
I thought it was
You know,
junk. So that's the importance of having a magazine like yours, because you can
yes.
install that in there and know not to throw it out. So now I don't throw out anything.
No,
That's
I
just-
mean it's
that was a lesson well learned.
why everyone should have a junk box. If you aren't sure, just throw it in the box,
Yeah,
and you can get rid of it as scrap metal later on if you want to.
right.
Yeah, but
Now-
take it to somebody that knows, or show it to somebody.
Yes.
Take pictures of it. Take picture, spread it out. Everybody can, where you can see it good. Take pictures of it. Send it to American Digger. If there's something really good in there, they're going to let you know.
In fact, that's as far as identifying stuff. We used to have Charlie Harris, who had a Can You ID column, and we're actually at this point we're kind of doing some reruns of that because it's good information. But we also have another page called Stumped, where people
Yes.
send in things and we try to find out the answer and ask our readers what this is, because we got a lot of smart people reading American Digger magazine.
Oh, you bet. Well,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
they're reading it. They're smart.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. You never know everything, and there's always somebody out there who say, "Yeah, that's what it is," or "This is what it is," and so it just makes good sense.
it does. One of the things I cringe to hear is when somebody calls themselves an expert. Nobody is a 100% expert unless you were there when it was being used or being made. The rest of us are we know a lot about one subject, but there's still going to be things that we don't know.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, I've been in this hobby for, my gosh, 53 years or so. And there are still things I see every time I go hunting with somebody that I've never seen before. And I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
But through the magazine, we answer a lot of questions like that.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. So you got any more books in the works, Butch?
Well, okay, I'm doing one on contract right now for William Plumer Buckle Boy on Facebook. And I'm here to tell you this is going to be a colossal work. And I'm not just building that up. It's just going to be big in terms of the number of pictures and the number of pages. There's well over 1,000 photographs of it.
Woo.
Yeah. And each photograph, the cool thing is it shows things that we dig and it tells what they are. And so it's going to be tremendous for identifying stuff. And also got another one that's actually on contract right now too, that has been for a while, but I think the fellow was changing some of his content and all, and he hadn't gotten back with me, so I'll keep his name silent since he hadn't fully decided what kind of book to do. And the thing is, I still get inquiries as, will I do a book for someone? Because not many people do quality hardbound books like we do, Ray Bird Publishers. And to those people, they usually talk to Anita. We put them on a waiting list. But right now, I would probably be about 3 years out on doing a book. But when you see the books I put together along with the authors, you can see why it takes so long.
Well, good things.
Yeah, that's what I put together, and I'm actually co-authored that one.
Yeah, that's an awesome book.
That was a great selling book. We're hoping to start reprinting those again within the next year. So,
are you out of them right now?
Yeah, we are out. We've sold the full 1,000 run on it within a year, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's pretty good. I was told by Mike O'Donnell, who was my mentor before he died, and he did a lot of the Civil War books and all, but he got me started in doing books for people. And he told me that if you could sell 1,000 books of a relic title, that's doing well. And if you go into a second reprinting, that's going real well. So I would say we're doing good for our authors.
Oh, you betcha. You betcha. Now, folks out there, if you got a question for Butch, pop it in the chat. I'll see it, or Jocelyn will see it, and we'll get it asked and answered.
Yeah,
So,
I had a comment there from Tom Becker. He's saying the old saying, if you don't know, don't throw. So I wish I would have known that years ago, but I know it today for sure.
Well, especially in England, right, Butch? Because when I was over there, they told us right up front, do not throw it away. If you don't know what it is, you think it's junk, leave it in your pouch. We'll look at it, and then we can tell you if it's junk, you just go throw it in the hedgerow, because that's where they want you to throw it.
Yep.
But don't throw stuff away, because you could be throwing something really good.
I had what I swore was a round drawer pull. And I had it actually in my junk pouch, but I was showing it to our guide at the time, and he stopped me. He says, "That's an angular brooch." I think that's what he called it, but it's the thing that pins together togas and all, the round brooch that goes. I had no idea. I honestly thought it was a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
There is. I see Eric Schaefer has a question there. There are 6 issues a year of American Digger magazine by month.
And the other question they have from Ian Aiken, he's saying, if you could pick one state, Butch, to detect for the rest of your life, which state would it be?
Oh, that's a toughie. Probably South Carolina, because there is still a lot of early stuff that comes out of South Carolina. I mean, it really amazes me. And we actually put on an American Digger show there each year in Charleston. And we see all the stuff that people have found just within the last few months. They bring it in for us to photograph, and there's just a lot of stuff there.
Well, you got some shows coming up now this year, don't you?
I certainly do. We have one in July that's in Chattanooga. I think that's I'd have to look calendar. It's like the 3rd weekend in July, but it's on our website. And that is a huge event. It's one we actually started. It's in Camp Jordan Arena in East Ridge, Tennessee, which is right next to Chattanooga. And it's already grown to almost 300 dealers there. And I say dealers, people that exhibit stuff, displays, metal detector cells, artifacts, all kinds of stuff. We try to encompass it all. We try to make it almost an extension of what you see in American Digger magazine. So you'll see a little bit of everything there that people like to dig up.
And bottles and all sorts.
Oh yeah, bottles. And also in January, it's usually the first weekend after New Year's, we have an annual show in Charleston, South Carolina. And that's a great one because such good food. It's fun to bring the family there. And that one we actually took it over from someone else, but I think it's its 40th year now. And there's a lot of bottles at that one. They're real bottle heavy there.
That's cool.
That's cool. That is real cool.
Oh, it's cool. I sit back and look at all this stuff that American Digger kind of takes over, or not takes over, but American Digger name is on that, and it's just, I'm humbled because it's the detectorists that do that. What's my most expensive find? Well, I don't sell my stuff as a general rule, but probably my most expensive find was a Georgia State Seal Civil War belt buckle, you might as well say, in perfect condition, and its value is probably around $8,000.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, and because of the condition, it might even be better now. It was the first Civil War belt buckle I ever found. I mean, and the most valuable. So, no figures.
So, Butch, how many belt plates have you dug?
Probably about 45, maybe 50, something like that.
That's a lot.
It's kind of a lot, but I was metal detecting though back when, I mean, the stuff didn't just jump out of the ground, but it was a lot easier to find back then.
Because there weren't as many people digging.
There weren't as many people digging. Property owners were more generous as far as letting you dig on their property. Something I run into now is I'll go to a property owner and they'll say, well, I want to let my grandson dig it. We're going to buy him a metal detector one day. And 9 times out of 10, that never happens. The history rots in the ground. And, if you're not going to dig it, let someone else dig it. Dirty Paws says, what find has amazed you the most? Oh, wow. Okay, it's just a totally amazing thing to me, but I actually was metal detecting in between 2 houses in a small, maybe a quarter acre of woods, and found a piece off an airplane wing that was about 8 inches long. And that was actually in the flight path for a military Air Force base. So I got the serial number off the piece and I sent it in to whoever the government entity was. I never heard back from them, but as soon as I sent it in, I'm like, maybe that wasn't a good idea to tell them I found part of their airplane, which probably wasn't supposed to be there. I still have the piece of airplane. If the black vans want to come out and get it, I'll give it to you. Just don't take me because I'm in prison.
So, Butch, you just got back from a show. Why don't you tell us where you were at?
Oh, yeah. I was at the Show Me hunt, the Show Me Pro-Am hunt in Missouri. It's the first year they've ever done this hunt. And usually the first year hunts I'm a little leery of because, there's a learning curve to doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, these people knocked it out of the park. And not only that, we knew there were going to be some natural finds at the site, but they had already told us, now we've hunted this place real hard, so you probably not find a lot of natural stuff, mostly pointed silver and things. It turned out that some people got into part of it that obviously the people that put it on hadn't hit real well. And this is things that were not pointed. I saw 4 breastplates come out of there. Saw 2 cannonballs, 1 pointed, but 2 of them were natural cannonballs. I saw a part of a Texas belt buckle. Just probably all in all, a couple of dozen Civil War relics that supposedly weren't going to be there, but they were there. And the cool thing is I must be getting old because all my mentors are passing away now that help me identify finds. But I seem to be the go-to guy there. And people were bringing up these Civil War finds and asking me what they were. And for the most part, I was identifying them. And one, KG and Ringy were there. And they found, I think it was Ringy found some kind of tube thing that looked like a candlestick. And I looked at it and I said, that's off a drumstick holder. And everybody's like, yeah, right. And kind of poo-pooed it off and all. And then Ringy brings up on his phone, and there it is, drumstick holder.
There you go.
So, that's a pretty rare thing, but I had seen it before. And
yes. Well, now you're an expert. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, real quick, everybody. What we're giving away tonight, Butch has asked us to do this, is going to be a subscription or a renewal, if you already are a subscriber, to American Digger Magazine. Now, I'm going to pop this up here, and this is what you enter in the chat exactly as I have it. It's in all caps, so make sure you use all caps. So this is what you put in the chat to be entered for the drawing. So I'll leave that up there for a second. And Butch, did you see that question? What type of a detector do you use? That comes from
I did. And I use different detectors for different situations. My go-to detector is usually a Deus 2, but I also use I use Mind Lab. I use Garrett. I love the Garrett AT Pro in the water. I don't know why, but it's just something I love to use in the water. And I tell people, it's kind of like trying to play a round of golf with just a putter. You really need more than one detector if you can afford it. And if not, just get the best one you can all around. But right now, I really like the Deus. And one thing that I really like about it is it weighs almost nothing.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
You're
and that's
correct.
something all the detector manufacturers should look at is the weight of it.
Yes.
And I'm very happy to see that Garrett is coming out with a new edition.
They're going to
I don't know. It's called the Storm. I don't know anything about it yet. I don't think anybody does.
No one does yet.
They're tight-lipped.
They really are. Gypsy Jules was at the event, and a great girl, by the way, if you've never met her. And she had a Garrett hat on. Actually, I believe KG and Ringy did too. And they had Velcroed over the front of it, Storm.
Yeah.
And when it's released, they're going to actually pull the Velcro off and announce to everybody what it is. But supposedly, they are not even allowed to look at it and know what it is.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah,
say,
I've been talking with Steve Moore. He's going to be on, down the road a little bit. And you'll have some information for us when that happens. So stay tuned.
Something else I wanted to bring up here. One of our new features is Club Spotlight. We were talking about clubs earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what we're doing now is we're asking clubs to write us 600-700 words, something like that. It's in the magazine. 600 to 900 words, which really isn't that much, with several good pictures. Brag about your club. Tell us about your club. Which this will increase your membership. It'll increase the interest in clubs. And for writing the article, you'll get a T-shirt, and also your club gets a 1-year listing in the club section of the magazine.
Very cool. Now, Jim McCorn,
huh?
Jim McCorn at Trumbull Treasure Hunters, 700 words should be absolutely no problem for him. Get her done.
Do it because we want to promote clubs as much as we can. Because, like I say, I just love the idea of clubs. And we all need to be a little more social than sitting behind a keyboard.
Yes, for sure.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, we did have a comment or a question from Bill Crow, and he's asking, is the digital print and the magazine print exactly the same?
It is. It is completely the same. So some people actually get both because when they're traveling, they want to be able to look at it on their phone or tablet or whatever. And really, it's about heads up 50-50 now, maybe on who prefers digital and who prefers print. Probably a little heavier on print, actually, because people just really like to hold a real magazine in their hand.
I agree, Butch. I agree. And that way they can use it as a reference.
Yes, exactly.
And it's easier to flip through the pages as it is to go back on a tablet or whatever. Plus, it's something about holding it in their hand.
It is, and it's a lot easier to replace a magazine dropped in the toilet than an iPhone.
No. Not American Digger magazine. You drop that sucker in the toilet, you've done messed up, son.
Yeah, you're not getting another one, especially like this.
You won't replace those. Oh, that's the sold out one. That is the holy grail other than issue number 1.
That is.
That's the one. Wasn't that Jimmy Crossbones in that
Yes.
one?
He was in it, and it sold out fast.
Yes, real fast. And that's one thing about our magazines. If you want to make sure you get a copy of a particular issue, we keep back issues. But once they're sold out, we don't reprint them. So, some of them, they go for, I won't say a fortune on eBay, but quite a bit more than the original price.
Right, for sure.
Yes, indeed. Well, should we give away a subscription?
Let's do that. And by the way, everybody is eligible except for Debbie Schiffer Blades because she works for us, and she gets a subscription anyway because it's cheaper than paying her. Not really. I'm kidding. We take care of our people.
Well, she said, I'm reading the feed there, and she said it's $42.95 for a print subscription and $19.95 for the digital.
That's it. Actually, the digital, I believe, is 21, something like that, because it went up slightly. And because we did increase the pages, it went up. Digital is $20.95. So
$20.95.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we draw?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Round and around we go.
Where it stops, nobody knows. Who it? Oh.
Oh, there it is.
Argenta 2021. You are the winner, and you know the deal. You send me your name, address, and phone number, and whether you want a new subscription or if you have it for renewal, that's got to be included because we don't know. And send it to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com, and we'll get it to Butch. And you'll be good. Argenta.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like Luis Villarreal says, I guess this is a Gary comment. They're due a saltwater compatible machine. Yes, they are. They're due a multi-frequency waterproof lightweight detector. So we can only hope.
Yes, indeed. Well, we'll see what Garrett is. They pay attention and they know what they need to do to stay competitive. So I think with this that's coming, I think it's going to be a goodie. I really do.
We were last year, I believe it was. I was down in Texas, and Rusty took us on a tour of the Garrett plant there. We got to see all kinds of stuff, not just the official stuff, but some of the behind the scenes stuff. Now, there was one room they would not let us into, and that was the engineering department.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's.
Believe you me, they are working on new technology, and I expect great things from them.
Yeah, I do too, and that's and it couldn't happen nicer because Garrett is one of the few remaining great American companies.
They are, and their customer service, at least in my opinion, my experience, is top notch.
Oh yes,
they are really. If you have a problem with Garrett, get in touch with American Digger. I'll talk to them because they're just great people.
And anytime you have any kind of a problem with a Garrett product, you call their customer service and they are all over it, and they bend over backwards to make it right. Haven't you found that to be the case, Phil?
Oh, absolutely. I've even had a customer, not a local customer, a customer in another state who bought something from me, and there was an issue. I called Garrett, and they said, well, let me have his number. They said, we don't want you in this. We want to take care of it. And they took care of it immediately. And my customer was so happy to get a call from Garrett.
Yeah.
They take me out of the whole issue and said, look, we'll deal straight with them and get it taken care of.
And when we have Garrett on the show, we have Steve Moore, and that's a top flight individual right there.
Not a lot of people realize it, but Steve Moore is a very prolific author.
Oh, yes, he is. Very much so.
Books that I don't know how big they got, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the, top 10 books or something, because he's had some great books on Texas history.
Yeah, and they use him as an expert on TV, too, on the History Channel. Because it's so funny. I've told him this before. I recognized his voice on the show. I'm in the other room, and I say, I know that guy. And I go, and there he is. It was a World War II documentary, and they were using him. So it's just so funny to hear that.
And, even with that, he does get the star status. He's just as nice and down-to-earth guy as you can expect. And I've been detected with him. In fact, I was actually in on testing the first AT Pros when they came out with those.
Yes, those were.
I took Steve out to a few places, and they had the prototypes. We were hunting with the prototypes. I actually found a Union Cavalry button that day. So I was just real excited. I said, yeah, you got a winner here. So they came out with a machine a few months later.
Yeah, those were a hot seller when they were the only multi-purpose waterproof detector on the market. Those would fly out of here. Everybody had them.
And things change by the day, obviously. I mean, detectors get better. They're tweaked. They change. Just, used to it seems like you'd have a good detector and keep it for years. And now it kind of gets overshadowed by the next year's model, this or that. But any of these detectors, like even one of the original AT Pros, they're still good machines.
Absolutely.
And there's still a lot of them in use.
There is, and that's something I tell people that are wanting to get into metal detecting is consider if price is an object, don't go to Walmart or Bass Pro Shop or something like that. Go to somebody like Phil and let him show you what would best get you into the hobby. And I'm not sure if Phil sells used detectors or not, but that's the best option I can think of is buy a used machine. And that way, if you don't want it, then you haven't lost, $1,000. So very affordable.
Oh yeah, and there's new manufacturers in the market that we didn't have before. You got NASA, which is very price competitive with excellent products, and of course, MindLab is the kind of the top dog. MindLab and Deus, but NACA's right after them with extremely cost-effective detectors that are just. I mean, some people you prefer them over the higher end detectors. So they've got a lot to choose from today.
Yeah,
The main thing is once you get a detector, learn it. Before you go jumping and buying the next greatest detector, make sure you're getting all you can out of the detector you have.
Yeah, because Jeff and I always say, read the manual, because most people don't even do that.
A lot of them
just call Phil Myers and ask him.
Yeah, there you go, for sure. And I missed something that went by too quick for me. Oh well, we'll have to get it next time.
What was it?
Somebody had made a comment, but I missed it.
A lot of those. Maybe I can find it. You can back it up,
Oh yeah, but I can't see that well, Jeff.
Well, you can see a lot better than I can.
I got the light blaring in my face, so I see Louis Villarreal said my first detector was a Freedom Ace Plus. I've sold some Freedom Ace Plus detectors, so they were good detectors to get started with for sure. But it looks like, you got it. Moose in New York said, I got 2 American Digger T-shirts and gave one to my brother. We got some nice comments.
That is awesome. And speaking of, I keep thinking of new things we've added to the magazine. For some reason, the shirts made me remember. We recently added, along with our shirt line, and this will sound silly to some people, but we added pet bandanas for dogs and things. Says American Digger, got the logo and all of it. There were a few dogs running around with it in Missouri, but that gave us the idea, let's have a cutest digger pet contest. So we're running the magazine right now. All you got to do is send a picture of your dog, your cat. One fella sent a picture of his pet chicken. Another girl sent a picture of her bearded dragon. But it's just got to have something American Digger in the picture, like a copy of the magazine, or if you want to go all out and get a bandana. But we're going to let our readers vote at the end of the year as to who they think the cutest pet was. And then that pet will win a subscription and gift package that we hope will share with their owner.
Well, Butch, it looks like that hour went that quick.
Well,
so I want to thank you. I want to thank Jeff. Thank the many members on here with us. Thank you, Jocelyn, for helping. And thank everybody. And hope you come back again sometime soon.
I want to thank everybody on the chat tonight. And I want to thank you two guys for having me. But we are all one big family in metal detecting. And sometimes we don't all get along. But we have a common goal, and that is to have fun metal detecting, to keep it legal, keep it above board, and spread the hobby and spread American Digger magazine if you like it too. But God bless every one of y'all for allowing me to do this.
We appreciate you too.
Well, we love it. We love it. So I want to thank you, Phil and Jocelyn and Butch. Thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day. And very much for introducing us to Debbie. She's going to be a great asset to you.
Yes. In fact, not to interrupt you, but I want to give a special shout out to Debbie right now. She started with us this year. Debbie, you have become one of the most important parts of American Digger magazine, and it's just going to get better and better. So,
well, she's already fielded about 5 subscription requests and taken them during the show.
Oh, and she has actually been metal detecting almost as long as me, even though she's a lot younger, of course. But between the two of us, I think we've got about 100 years of detective experience.
She can probably out hunt you.
Real, she digs and she's good.
I always find the women can out hunt the guys because they've got that ear.
Mm-hmm.
They listen better than guys do.
Yes, they do.
You know. Anyways, I'm not going to get myself in trouble. Thanks, Butch. Well, see, I'll be in touch to get you back on soon, probably in the fall, after you get a chance to get some of the hunts and shows under your belt, and we'll see what else is going on. And so we thank you ever so much. And next week, people, join us when Chicago Ron will be in the house to tell us about his England barn hunts and his Aruba beach hunts that you can go on. So with that said, it's time to ski-daddle. Phil's got to go get some dinner.
Gotta go eat dinner. You don't get this
Right.
size by not eating.
That's right. So thanks for watching. Happy hunting, everybody, and dig deeper.
We'll see you guys. Thank you.